Hi there. Welcome to part 22, Wolves on the BackBit. This is it. This is the end of our C64 coding adventure. What a ride. I learned so much. I made so many mistakes. I had so much fun. But now it's over. That makes me kind of sad. So, well, what comes next? I don't know. I don't know what sort of time-consuming mega project, if any, is in my future. Everybody's got ideas, but you only have so much time, so much drive, and life gets in the way. But anyways, what's in this particular part? Everything you see here, mostly, stems from stuff I've learned after I thought it was done. Once I start making these videos, there's a few last minute improvements that kind of need to happen. And I'm glad that they did, because it turned what was in project into a better project. And the only thing I can tell you here, because I don't really show much of it until the very end, actually I don't show almost none of it, when the program ends, whether the video plays out naturally or you press a key press to end it early, there's always a blast of garbage on the screen, as bitmap turns to text and back to basic. Well, if you blank the screen and watch the raster, it can end rather cleanly, and I like the professional look that it now has. And after that, I considered the program done. So I took what I had, I captured some footage, I made the little teaser video, which shows what this program is all about, and I'm now inviting people to watch the series. So it wasn't until I was done the series that I could begin the series. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm still making these videos. This is the last one right now. But at the moment, none are on YouTube. So I have no idea how well these are being received. Maybe I'm a hit. Maybe I'm a flop. Who knows? Doesn't matter. It's just for me mostly. Well, I guess I'm satisfied. I met my goal more or less. 6 frames per second. What do I got? 5 point. I'm sure it's like 9.7 or something. Who knows? It's pretty damn close, isn't it? Good enough. And yeah. So anyway, we should just wrap her up here. Show you how majestic I am one last time. There we go. And yeah. So part 22, overtime. Also known as Fred Saves the Day. Thanks, Fred. Let's watch.
Well, I might have this solved, this mystery hiss on first launch. Check it out. I will do this a few times and turn it up.
Oh, the water always tastes so good here.
Okay, that one's good. We're looking for bad static. Good again. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to try this plenty of times. Not in a row, not while you're here, but with or without the SuperCPU attached.
Oh, the water always tastes so good here. Oh, if only they were here.
See, when she cuts in, it's quieter.
Isn't this good, Father?
Good enough. And, well, I did not solve this. I did some searching, and on the CSDB forums, there was a thread about resetting the SID. Let's see who did it. It was started, well, I can show it to you on the screen at this point, by Thunderblade back in 2011. But near the bottom here, the fellow who's his name? I mean, they're going back and forth, like the internet sort of bickering like they do, but somebody proposed a near perfect solution, and then Fred here comes up with his version, and I tried it, and it worked for the most part, but there's one glitch, I suppose. He this little tidbit he doesn't do right off the bat. So what that means is, when you launch it, it might be near the bottom of the screen anyway. So it sets the SID for the FFs and does the delay and immediately sets it to eighths. So I added one more wait for the bottom at the bottom just to initialize. So it waits for the bottom, sets it with FFs, wait, sets it with eighths, wait, sets it with zeros, and leaves. And that made a difference. Without that initial wait, I was still getting the occasional static. But I think, oh wow.
Oh, the water always tastes.
I think if this starts the machine more or less at a known state, SID-wise, the static, as we used to know it, may be gone. And in preparation for that, I have removed
Oh, the water always tastes.
the shortcut, the patch that gets rid of that does the SID refresh. Now it just breaks you out of the program again. So if you do have static, you will have to break out and relaunch it with an SYS 32768. But you see, I'm getting the same sound every time. And the version that I have shown as the working version that's dated back in November, because you can see the date on it, that was me trying it again and again and again to get it to launch with a version that did not have static. It took multiple tries, and that's where it really bummed me out. But I think this Fred fellow, he got it down. Good stuff, boy.
Oh, the water always.
Well, maybe now it's truly finished. Isn't that great? I still got a lot of videos to make. Yikes. After making the introduction to part 6 of my video, I thought, what the hell? Try it out. Well, there it is, right? That's that combo. And it was as simple as, oops, not knowing which line you actually added. I think it's 956 then. There it is. And going RTI, I believe. There you go. So you're putting an RTA instruction in the place on the chip reserved for the serial port. I have no idea, but when you jump there and the RTA is waiting, it leaves the interrupt. But in doing so, the processor automatically loads up DDoD and DDoE. It reads them, even though it discards them, because that's just how this processor works. It grabs the next 2 bytes just in case and tosses them when it realizes it doesn't need it, I believe. And by reading them, that was enough to satisfy the CIA chip, and it acknowledges the interrupt that way. So what was once 4 cycles is now 3. And the difference, a big difference. 1 million extra cycles. The best I was getting before was 97% with 28 skipped frames. Sometimes it was worse, but now it's this. I mean, I could run it again, but this is the first time I ran it, and I'm rather proud of that. And, well, that's demo coders for you. They know what they're doing. This, how did I find this? There's actually many clever ways you can leave an interrupt. And oh man, I'm going to put a link probably on the screen at this point, maybe, or in the description. But this is one of the easiest ones, although I'm not a fan of what's not elegant. This is not elegant, but if it works on every machine, there's little point in not using it. I'll have to try to keep this one in mind. It's pretty juicy. Okay, after working on several of the videos in this series, I started to learn a little bit more about loudness and normalization and, decibel levels. And because I had to tweak and re-render my videos a number of times because the audio it was too quiet, or it was this or it was that. And I don't even know if it's still good. I came up with a series of settings that I'm more or less probably happy with because YouTube, apparently, everything on YouTube is louder than the videos that I was creating. But anyway, which led me to go back and compare my little Gabu video to other Commodore things that were on the BackBit. Like I'd load up a game and it was at a certain volume, then I'd load up my little play, the cartoon clip, and it was very, very quiet. But I normally have the clip playing at a level of like 20 or so, right? But if I play a Commodore game at this volume level, oh wow, eardrum break. So I ended up going back into Audacity, and with I guess my newfound sort of knowledge, I fudged my way and I made an unsigned, I don't even know if it's PCM still, I don't know, but the graph looks good. The sound sounds good. And now I have this little sniffer program, and it's spitting the values out. It's going to take a while to get past the midpoint of silence until I see what sort of values are in this. And the next step after that, I can bring in my magic SIDs, and I'm going to save myself a little bit of time this time. I am going to import these values, Mahoney convert them, and write them directly to the BBT, overwriting the audio information that is there from before. So, and that way I can do the both SID versions rather easily. It may take a few hours, but if I don't bungle it, it'll only need to happen one time, and oh, look at this. Things are starting to happen. I like it. I like it. I like it. But yeah, oh boy, I'll be pleased if this clip plays a little louder than before. I did not do all of the audio tweaks that Jeff Burt did originally now. Originally he was recording his own voice on a microphone, so there's going to be more background hiss, and there's going to be this and that. I'm basically, taking a established program already, and I'm assuming the audio is, well tuned at that point. So I processed it very little, except for trying to, squeeze a bit more loudness out of certain ranges, and then squish it down to 7,867 hertz, and then save it as an unsigned raw file. So I don't even have to flip the bits. At some point, this is going to start spitting out numbers that are even smaller than this, I hope. Yeah. I guess I could have, that's what I can do. I can set up an array that just uses these values as an index and just boom, 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 adds them up for me. Oh yes, I think I'll do that instead. Then I don't have to sit here and watch this. Ooh, there's the first ones that are above or below 100 or whatever. You know what I mean. For now, I'm doing this, low bytes and high bytes. It's kind of cool because you can almost see the beam going back and forth, because it's bringing in, this is obviously a counter. It's not bringing them in fast enough to mask the fact that in the end, this is a waveform that it's producing. kind of cool. And when something wraps 255, the high byte is down here. It's just incrementing what originally is a space. I want to see what sort of assortment I get from the data. I mean, it's 1 point something megabytes, so what is that? A little over 1 million. So I got a ways to go at this rate. It's going to tortoise its way through it. But what I'm most interested in seeing before I go ahead and fudge this into the BBT is, remember the earlier videos when I was showing how there's so many zeros before the data begins? I hope that fewer of them, like the zeros that are at the beginning and at the end of the file, there's less. Hopefully the overall takes up a lot of that space. It may not sound better, but to the untrained ear, which is, my ear doesn't have any training, I just want it to be easier to hear. In the end, it's going to be butchered down to Commodore mono levels anyway, so it, the fine tuning that, a professional audio guy would probably pursue is probably a waste of time. I guess I'll find out. But yeah, oh boy. Even though I could have just finished these videos, I still have a number of them to make. I could have easily just said, screw it, and release this thing. But if it's relatively quiet compared to everything else in your computer, you'll know something's wrong. And I don't want that. So even if this isn't the perfect solution, it should be louder, and that hopefully is good enough to pass the test. I guess we are about 5 seconds into the audio at this point. I was somewhat dreading this reworking of the BBT after I realized I probably should make the sound louder, after, say, 14 months after I started. Sorry, I bugged you again so soon. Just to recap here, this is where the zero begins: 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. Well, 241, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 250, 1, 252, 253, 254, 255. And that, sorry, that is, when kind of like my cough, it's the spike in the video, in the audio. When I think the wolf sticks his beak in the water, that's that loud splash. That is the loudest point in the audio clip. And it has received the highest possible spike in the voltage values and in the amplitude, or whatever it's called, in the waveform on Audacity. It certainly appeared to be what should be the highest point in the whole clip. So there it is. It's true. And there may not be a lowest point. This might be the other end of that, like the big spike of the plunge in the water. But everything else is filling in nicely. Oh boy, I am excited to try this now. The distribution, continues. We're only not even a quarter way through the file at this point. I am tired, so I'm going to stop this. I mean, looks good. I'll take a picture of it just for, posterity or whatever. Okay. Oh, man. I was in a frantic panic. Look at this. We missing something here? It's called sound, right? So let's try it again. And I thought I had fried my SID, so I tried a different, like an actual game, and it worked. But, okay, let's disable the SuperCPU completely. I haven't modified the BBT yet. I'm still working on that. And there we go. But the thing is, you see how bloody quiet I have to make it, or loud?
Wow, the water always tastes so good here. Huh, if only they were here.
So this is audio level 18. I'll show you what a game sounds like at this level with the phone at this location. I don't know what's going on. I don't care to know, really. Like, you're really pushing your luck, you stupid $1,000 piece of junk. Well, with luck, it is actually writing to the BBT. And, well, at the rate it's happening, it'll probably take about what? Half an hour, 40 minutes? Let's hope this works. It's reading it from there with machine language, Mahoney converting it, spitting it out to the BBT directly over top of there. Yes. And then I'll do it again for this one with the other table. And it should be done. It should be that easy. Wow. Well, I put an abrupt halt on that test because I'm pretty sure, oops, I set it to right to here. This is where it is. Ay, ay, ay. I completely pooched my BBT. You want to see? Let's just shut this sucker off. Some of my video is going to be trashed. I'll skip ahead until you see it. It should have happened by now, so I don't know, where was I writing to? I don't understand. There it is. See that? Because to set the right offset on the BackBit, you need a 32-bit number. Well, low byte, next highest, middleish byte, highest byte. I was setting it for here. So it was exceeding the range of the BBT. It was basically throwing it into oblivion, which is a good thing because I didn't corrupt my BBT, and now I get to try this properly with the right address. Nice. What is the right address? 92F100. 92F100, right? So start with the 00. F1. 9200, and the cap and the right. So that's all I need to do. This should work. Good stuff. Boop doop 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 doo doo doo. Is it writing? I don't know. We will have to find out in a half an hour later. We are almost done. Oh boy. Right. Now, when it's done, hopefully it doesn't just completely fall on its face. Oh, well, something's going pooched. You ready to see if this works? I'll show you what the audio level is. Let's keep it moderate this time. Oh boy, I'm scared. Hey, it's working. Let's turn it up as loud as it used to be.
If only they were here.
Isn't this good, Father?
It sure is, kiddo.
Well, here's a way to see the difference. This is the modified true BBT, and I copied a backup before I fudged it on my computer, which I put back here, right? So this is the one that I've been using for, the past many months, with the last minute color skippies in there. But anyway, we'll listen to the corrected louder one first.
Oh, the water
And now the original.
Oh, the water always tastes so good here. Huh.
Now we'll turn the volume up to 20. And well, we'll listen to the original again first. And the next one I thought should have been significantly louder, but I don't think it is.
Oh, the water always tastes so good here. Oh, the water always tastes so good here. Huh. If only they were here.
Yeah, it is louder, but did it bring out more of the undesirable noises?
If only they were here.
I think it's good with the louder version versus having everyone turn up their volume and get blasted by something else down the road. And now we're writing the 8580 version where it should go over top of its old copy. The data looked different right off the bat, so I think I have the right table and everything. Of course, like the original, I won't be able to hear it. I could load up my source and force a fake 8580 chip and just pretend it is. And it'll be all screechy, but I'll be able to tell if the audio is in the right place at least. Looking for the Paw Dance to be out of sync with the audio.
You gone bonkers? 'Cause you're so hungry? Nah, I'm feeling great. My toothache just got better. Just excited, that's all.
And I turned up the volume on the original here. We'll compare.
You gone bonkers? 'Cause you're so hungry? Nah, I'm feeling great. My toothache just got better. Just excited, that's all.
I think the audio is out of sync, which means I started copying data to the BBT a little early. After this thing gets to 512, it's going to start writing to the BBT. There we go. And I think it's pooched. Because it's not writing to the... Oh, I didn't assemble any code. I probably locked it up. Okay, this time round, it should start recording at 512. There we go. Looking good. So we skipped nice round number, 512 samples, which puts us approximately 1/15th further into the audio before we start copying it to the BBT, which in effect pulls the audio back 1/15th of a second. So the Paw Dance should be more synchronized.
I'm feeling great. My toothache just got better. Just excited, that's all.
I don't know. I think it is slightly better just by moving it back 1/15th of a second. It's kind of neat how everything's, falling into place at the very end after I thought I was already done. I was debating once again of implementing some bitmap skipping stuff. And to pay for it, I would have to trade off my color compression. Just the simple groups of 4 skippables. Now, just to prove to myself that this is actually effective, I stuck in the old, increment border when skip framed is occurred. Now, these frames are somewhat busy, so there's not a lot of color skipping going on, right? But I'll show you later on in the video where the payoff is. I expected actually most of these skipped frames to be near the middle of the video, but they've been consistently appearing since the beginning. See, check it out. It's going to stay with this color for some time. It does skip a frame down the road here, but you see, with the amount of colors that it's skipping, it's able to keep up. It sort of gives it an easier time of things. So no further work needs to be done to improve this section of the video. See there, it's dropped 1. But yeah, still, if I run it, I think we got, well, this is the debug version, but yeah, 16. Still good enough. It's hard to be satisfied with that, though.
Nah, I'm feeling great. My toothache just got better. Just excited, that's all.
Ha! A nice clean exit. Beautiful. SuperCPU is back in play. Check it out. Yes, it is first day of summer. You would not believe this. Well, I'll show you. Remember? Well, it's still in this video. It is. No sound, right? Well, I figured it out. I decided to attack this problem today, and you wouldn't believe it. Well, okay, I'm going to kill it with the button here and try it again just to prove. Nothing, right? Okay, so, well, if I get out of here the cheat way, we still have the BBT in memory. Now, SuperCPU is active. It's in slow mode. And, well, great, because now I have Jiffy DOS. So there's, you know, the BackBit and the SD-TI-Z. Okay, so let's load up my assembler. Haha, man, I love Jiffy DOS. Okay, now I forget exactly which one I want to find. It's one of these. Come on. There we go. I've already tested this earlier. This is the one. Obviously, it's the latest one, right? I'm not going to change the file to make it a runnable version, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter because this is not getting released. But I do want to show the fix. Now, here's what I'm going to do at the moment. Well, I mean, I could list it. Yes, let's do that. So there it is. Now, the difference here is because it's my in-progress version, it's only doing it to 2 buffers, so I would have to make certain changes on these lines to make it render to 4. But that isn't important because now I can tweak it. So we will assemble and run this. And I can tell you right now, we are not going to get sound. And just to be sure, yeah, when we do get sound, you'll know. Okay, so here we go. Ready for nothing? Right. And the thing is, earlier today, I was monkeying around with previous versions, and I loaded up an older one from the source, assembled it, ran it, and I got sound. I was playing detective, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know the whole story because how long is this video already? But check this out. I found it. Remember how I was so proud of the 1.24 extra million cycles, right? Well, this is the fault. I pinned it down to here. Well, actually, first of all, look at this. See? 2 audio refreshes. You know what that means? Well, the first one, I think it's filling it or something. But this was a clue. I ran it. And not only that, oh man. You're not going to believe this either. Where are we? Time for new frame. 7,000. Crap. I'm blundering this bad. I was able to get it down to here, where a new frame was called every 7 screen refreshes, because I noticed what you just saw, it wasn't doing any sound. So I was realizing, it's like, well, how fast can the video get? Damn. You see it's faster? And we're not even getting that gibberish stuff because I'm still running it through 2 buffers. It is just nicely synchronized enough to where it's not tripping over itself. And I did add the change the background color when things are when a frame is skipped. And so I tweaked that 7. It was originally 10, then I made it 8, then I made it 5, and then it was skipping frames at 5. I changed it to 6, still losing frame 7. It was not. Okay, so let's just get out of here, right? Surely we've lost some frames by now, but you'd be surprised. Look at that. Nothing, right? It's able to keep up at a 8.5 frames per second rate because it's not doing the audio. And let's get back there. And yes, this is the reason why. What I ended up doing, I ended up making an incrementing color thing, and it went from basically from one color to the next and stopped. It does 1 NMI audio related thing and leaves. But the thing is, what it does is, it does this, go in RTI. And you've already seen that. That's DD0C. It has an RTI instruction and it leaves. The thing is, and I realized this, let's put this back. What was it? DDOD, I think. And, right? So we will put it at 1986. And we will also put it at 1996. Because now, and this makes sense, the SuperCPU is doing everything. It's the CPU. This CPU is just sitting here and just going, I'm bored. But the 65816 does not behave like the old one. In terms of what this used to do, it is not reading ahead 2 bytes to discard. I'm guessing now, because this fix works, it carefully selects the 1 byte it wants, boop, pulls it out, and so it takes the RTI, obeys the RTI, but it's not reading DDOD or DDOE, so the interrupt is never getting acknowledged, and all you get is 1 NMI. Big explanation, but the bug is fixed. Look at this. We will now get sound, and we will also get, because it's 2 buffers, actually we're going to get a lot of skip frames because I have it set a ridiculously high frame rate. But anyways, yeah, I should fix that first. Sorry. Here we go. Ready for the audio? Ha!
Oh, the water always tastes so good here.
And the thing is, well, let's get rid of this altogether. Because of that, I'm not using that demo coder trick of the jumping to DD0C anymore, which is unfortunate because I am now losing 1.24 million cycles. I'm back to 97%, best case, unless I speed this up. But, like I said, this is not a real release. It doesn't matter. To use that trick, I am forcing I'm outcasting the super CPU. You can't use it at all. And that's not cool either. So, yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to just be satisfied knowing that I have the fix in my head. Like, I don't want to tweak this file and do all the changes that I did to make it run automatically. I'll just know the super CPU has to be off because I'm done with this. But yeah, now we know. And there we go. Now it's doing the audio refreshes like it's supposed to. I'm back down to 97%. But the super CPU is allowed to play along again. Yeah. And just so you can see, if I wanted to make this work, like I said, those are the changes I would make, like a CC and 1C would go there, 0460, 2040, 24, and then blah, blah, blah. And then it would run off of 4 buffers, look nice and smooth. But yeah. So anyway, I'm very sorry that I rambled on and on. It was already a long video. Now it's a very long video. I have, another 6 days to re-encode that video and upload it. Yikes.